Good morning, guys. Just thought I'd make a video for you this morning in my usual style, mainly for your entertainment, but hopefully it will also give you some ideas on what I'm about to do. So we've been closed in the shop for a week now. Everyone's following Boris's rules, and looks like we're potentially going to be closed for a while longer, at least another couple of weeks. So what I thought I'd do is cut Harrison's hair for you, and give you an idea that if we're in isolation for quite some time, or we're locked up at home for quite some time, parents, you might, or even partners, you might want to consider cutting your children or your partner's hair. Hello, mate. This is going to be fun. And so I thought I'd give you a few ideas of how to cut their hair using limited tools at home. So if I quickly show you the tools that I use. So I've tried to limit it to stuff that you'll probably have at home, which is a pair of basic hair clippers or beard trimmers, 4 cutting guards. Most clippers come with them. A comb. Most of you have got a comb. Scissors. I've got my hairdressing scissors, but you can use, or my barbering scissors, but you can use just kitchen scissors. Just be careful. And I've got a trimmer. Obviously, you probably won't have that, but some of you have a beard trimmer, but that I'll only use that very slightly. So I'll put a list of equipment up afterwards. And let me just turn the camera back around. So I'm going to get Harrison. He's only 2 years old. I'm going to stick him in his high chair. I've never cut his hair at home, obviously owning a barber shop. That's not something I'd normally do. But I'm going to try and cut his hair. We're going to see if he'll play ball. And we'll go from there. Right, let me make sure he's in shot. All right, that looks good. All right, Harrison, are you ready? Come on then. Come on then. What would you like to watch on TV? What would you like to watch on TV? Okay. Here he is. Oh, so let's pop you in. We're going to see if this works.
Would you like these ones? Would you like these ones?
Yeah.
What's the magic word?
So, one of the common mistakes people make, I'm sure that a lot of you have very short haircuts around the side. I do. He does sometimes. But we wouldn't train our apprentices at work to do a very, very short fade until they've done a little bit of training. We would start them off with slightly longer styles around the sides and on top, because there's a lot less room for error. If you normally have a 0 or a 1, there's so much room for error. When you go straight in, you're going to make a mistake on your kid or your partner's hair that you can't get out, and you're going to have to end up shaving it off. I've seen a few of those already, Scotty. But, so what I would recommend doing is starting with one of the longer numbers. You can always go shorter after. So I'm probably going to start with a number 4. Most clippers come with a 1, 2, 3, 4.
What would you like to watch?
That's in quarters of an inch. We're going to put the TV on a little bit for Harrison, so that will keep him entertained. I'm probably going to start with a 4, which is actually ½ an inch long around the sides. So then that gives me the least room for error. So this will work with beard trimmers or hair clippers, whatever you've got. Just aim for the longer one of the guards that you've got. First of all, you want to comb the hair a little bit. Let's check he's in shot, that's it. Let's move him a little bit closer. Good boy. And as you can see, I better get a before picture quickly. Crisp included. Don't turn the TV up too loud, please, Hannah. There we go. Let's just get a picture of the before so we can get a good comparison. Oh, you're going to look at me, are you?
I
You would like
Pardon?
Spider-Man, is that what you meant to say?
Pardon? Please.
Alright, so we're going to start off with our number 4 guard. Han, you'll have to let me know in a few minutes if anyone comments.
Yeah.
If anyone's got any questions, by the way, feel free to put them in. Han's going to read them out to me if they're productive.
31 views.
There you go, 31 people watching, that's not bad. So we just go in with our longer grade, and at the bottom of the hair, we're pushing quite firm. To be fair, a 4's not taking much off on Harrison, so I'm going to go down to just very slightly shorty. So you always start longer and see if it's taking some. So we're going to do a 3. And when we're quite low down, we're pushing quite firm. But as we move higher up the head, we're pulling away. The idea is we're trying not to create any hard lines that are going to be difficult for us to get out.
Go drop this.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to. Silly me, I forgot to put the gown on him, bless him. Right, let's quickly pop this around you. Thank you, Han. Right, let's pop this around you, this will be good. There we go, you can still have your crisps, don't worry, that's it. Just going to pop a gown in, that's what I should have said at the start. If we put a gown, or even if you've just got a towel, it'll just, the fact that they're a little bit less hairy will keep them more comfortable. Again, hold your crisp, please. Here we go, you hold them. Good boy, you got it? Right, so we're just doing our 3. And we're pulling it out a little bit towards the top so that we're not putting any too hard lines. And the thing is, the skilled part in cutting hair is blending from the short to the long. But if you haven't left a huge difference in line, then you haven't got much to do, so it takes that part of it away. Do we have any comments, Han?
No comments. We've got Nana watching.
Ah, Nana's watching Harrison get his hair cut.
We've got Ian Ward, Amelia, Nick,
Ian
Simon,
Ward, the famous flooring specialist.
Christopher.
I hope this has given you all some ideas of cutting your own kids' hair. So that's me done a 3 on that side. It's left a little bit of a line, but even if we were to leave it there, because we picked a longer guard, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Whereas if we'd have gone in with a 1 or a 0, like to almost skin fade it, or it would be, you alright? Yeah, is it a little bit tight around your neck? Is that better? There we go, fixed. And then I want to change the camera angle and show you this side, but I think it will disturb Harrison from Spider-Man, so we'll just quickly do this side the same. So we're doing a 3 on the side on this side as well. If you had any longer clipper guard numbers, longer than a 4, you could even consider using them on the top of the head. But not many people would have those except barbers, so that's why I'm just trying to show you with tools that you might potentially have at home. If anyone wants to have a go at this and they want to ask me any questions afterwards, send me a message and I'm happy to answer any questions. Right, the difficulty is going to be getting around the back here with this high chair. Harrison, could you lean forward for me please for a sec, mate? That's it, perfect. Brilliant. Brilliant. It's also important to make sure whatever room you choose to do this in, most people it's going to be the kitchen, has got quite good light so you can see what you're doing. Good boy. There we go, that's brilliant.
Oh, Jimmy's watching, babe.
Ah, Jimmy, I want to see you trying this on Jasper. There we go. It's hard for me to even see myself because the back of this high chair. I can't see up a bit steady bits. Right, lean right forward, that's it. What's going on in Spider-Man, Harrison? He's not sure, he's not going to speak to me now, that's it, he's in the zone. Perfect. That's the other thing, try and save something to distract your kids or your boyfriend while you're doing their hair, TV or food. So we've done a 3 around the sides. There's not too much of a line because his hair wasn't super long and it's not super dark hair. Next, what we want to do is try and transition that 3, that shorter part, into the top. Obviously that's going to be long. What we would normally do is put the comb in, then pull the comb away from the head and then run the clipper along the comb to remove some of that hair, so it makes it a bit more of a smoother transition. But what we teach people when you're very first starting out, when you're a apprentice and you're literally starting out, sometimes we teach you to attach a guard, like a shorter guard, like a 1 or a 2, onto the clipper before you clipper over comb, just to give you a little bit of safety. If I will do it without, which gives it a lovely finish. But obviously I've been doing this for a very long time. But if you were to do it with a guard on, it gives you just a little bit of room for error. So if you slip and you push a little bit too hard, or if your client moves, if your family member moves, you don't slip in and make a mistake that you can't fix. Let me try and do it with a guard on to show you what I mean. So I put a guard on, like a number 1 or a 2 or whatever you've got, something shortish, but it will still give you that little bit of protection, so that if the person does move, Harrison's doing a very good job of sitting very still. So you may think that, oh God, Mac's lucky his kid sits super still to have his hair cut. I can assure you this isn't always the case. We've just starved him from TV and food. No, not really food, but starved him from TV this morning. And we're just giving him a little bit of TV now, so he's very happy to have a little bit of TV. So he's sitting very still.
So Paul's watching, Alistair's watching, Dennis is watching, and Stacey said he's so good.
Oh yeah. And then, so we've done our 3. We've put our comb in. We've run across the comb with the guard on it to make sure we've got a little bit of safety to blend in some of that hair. Then we're just going to put our comb in around the edges. Again, would probably be good to use a guard if you haven't done it before, just for safety. And we're just putting the comb in, pulling it away from the head, and just seeing if there's any real long bits that our clippers might have missed. Again, I would normally do this without a guard, but obviously for the benefit of this video, it's going to help you guys to have a guard on there, just so you don't make any mistakes that you can't fix. Right, we're going to come around this side as well. Again, I was planning to turn Harrison for this, one of the reasons he's in the high chair. But yeah, he's looking pretty into the Spider-Verse, it's called, which is recommended by one of my lovely customers. And Harrison very much likes it. He's just got a real passion for superheroes, which I don't really share, but I think I'm definitely gonna be sharing it in the future, I think, and learning about them all. It's quite nice. I'm learning about the superheroes at the same time that he is, so that's quite cool. It was my wonderful customer Lucas who put me onto this. There we go. Oh, looking very good, Harrison. Very smart. Just if only we could see this back bit a little bit better. Right, so I'm going to get my brush. You can use, I've got a neck brush, but you can use like a makeup brush or whatever, just to try and keep the client clean whilst he's doing it. You alright, Harrison? Hey! Hey! Tickle him! That's it. What's going on Spider-Man? Right, so we've done our 3. We've blended it in with our clipper over comb. We've tidied our edges a little bit. Unfortunately for Harrison, we can't see the back of his hair that great because I've sat him in this high back chair, which was a bit of a fail, but we have to make do with what we've got, don't we? I'd like to get down here. How am I going to get him to look down, Molly?
I think you are.
You don't think we are? Maybe just grab your phone and see if you could just show him a quick panda or something, and he might look down for a split second. So you've got to work out ways to get, especially young children, to get them to look where you want. Pause Spider-Man, are you going to get it? There we go. Pause Spider-Man for 1 second. Hold it really low. And come around this side, is that alright? can you see right down there? Where is he? Is he right down there on the floor? Is the panda right down there on the floor? What colour is he? That's better. Now I can get into the back of Harrison's hair. Sometimes with children, they have a little indentation in the back of their neck, in their nape, and it's a lot easier to get to when they look down. Do you want to put Panda right down on the floor, Mummy? That's it. Oh, he's going to get, that's it. So we're just getting him to look right down, just for one moment, just so we don't end up with any long bits at the bottom here. And yes, if you're still watching, mate, I'm guessing that you're going to ignore my first bit of advice when you do Lincoln's hair, and you're just going to go straight in with a 0 and give him a very short haircut. But yeah, by all means, mate, if you want any advice, just ask, and I'll do my best to give you a bit of advice.
So morning Dave, Glossy, Debbie, Wayne and Luke.
Good morning, Dave. I hear you did a video very similar to this, Dave. I am going to go back and watch it afterwards and see if your little man sits as still as mine, although your little man's not so little anymore. So we've now done the 3 around the sides. We've used the clipper over comb with a guard on to blend it in a little bit. So already he's looking a little bit smarter. You alright? You alright? Yeah. I'm going to use my trimmers to do the edges, but you don't need to do this. This is only because I have the luxury of having a pair of trimmers with me. You could use beard trimmers. Obviously these very clever. It would look alright without them, but I'm just going to neaten up the edges very, very quickly. Just a little bit, just to make it look that a little bit sharper. The light's not great in here. If you open the blinds, Hannah, is it sunny outside? Yeah. Oh, very nice, Harrison. Doing lovely. My dad is struggling to see. There we go. So other than trimming the high chair, I've nearly done. So I'm going to share this video afterwards on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. I'll probably put the whole thing up there if we all get really bored during this isolation time.
Oh, spider, is it?
Kids do that too. They move. they move during the precise moment you don't want them to. All right, and again, we kind of need to do the bottom of his neck, but yeah, I'm going to leave that. So far, I know I'm waffling loads. We've done the 3 round the sides. We've put our clipper in, pulled it, comb in, pulled it away from the head, attached the guard onto our clipper, and run along the hair to try and take any bulk away so it looks like a bit of a smooth transition between the two. One thing I didn't show you on the list of things that we're going to use is a water spray. Most of you have one of these for watering the plants or something similar that you can empty out and put water in. It will help you in regards to doing the top. So we're just going to do a little trim on Harrison's hair. Maybe I'll end up cutting it more than once, which I'm sure I will over this time off. So now we're just going to wet it a little bit and comb it, and we're just going to cut a little bit of his hair off. One of the common mistakes that people will make when cutting their children's hair, whether they're boys, girls, whatever age they are, or even adults, is if they want to cut some length off the fringe, they will literally pull the fringe down and cut straight across. And that will 9 out of 10 times leave the person with the haircut looking very much like something out of Dumber and Dumber. So we don't want to see a lot of these bowl cut straight fringes, and there's an easy way to avoid that. And it's rather than pulling the hair straight down and cutting it, sorry we're getting you wet, Harrison. So you want to pull the hair up and cut it. So we've dampened the hair a little bit, we've combed it out a little bit, and then we're going to use our scissors. So I've got my barbering 6-inch scissors here, but what I might try and do, just for the benefit of this video, to see how easy it'd be for you guys, I might try and use the kitchen scissors. Where are they, huh?
Don't know.
Oh. I might not use the kitchen scissors because I can't find them. You seen them up there or anything?
No.
Oh, here they are. Right, so I might try and use the kitchen scissors. God, this is really going to be tricky. This is going to show. So, rather than just combing it straight down, these are the lovely implements that I'm going to try and use.
We've got Dom, Tank, Lee and Ange.
Dom, you're going to be doing this soon, mate. Ange has already experienced that, so she's cheating. So, rather than combing it straight down and cutting the blunt line, try and comb the hair up, almost like Simon from the In-Betweeners, and then put it in between, squeeze it in between your fingers. I reckon you can see that, and then cut a little bit off. Oh, there we go. They are kind of working. Very tricky to use the kitchen scissors, but.
Good morning, Jay. And then we've got Dawn saying thanks. Going to give Alfie's a go later. Hope you're all well.
Hopefully this will show. Alfie's definitely got a tricky haircut because he's got curly hair, which makes it a bit more difficult, but still the same principles apply. There we go. So the way that I'm pulling this hair up and cutting it means that when it falls back down and it dries, he won't have a blunt line, but it will have removed some of the length. And remember, you can always, I'm going to switch to my scissors now, but you can always take more off. Once you've hacked it short, then that's that, isn't it? But if you always want to take a little bit more off, you can do it. So all I'm doing is moving backwards through the hair, pulling a little bit up, and just cutting a little bit off. Obviously, a lot of your kids' hair will be a lot longer because Harrison's quite fortunate and has his hair cut regularly. But I may, at some point, Hannah doesn't know this yet, I'm just literally telling her now on my eyes, I may at some point shave Harrison's hair shorter for the benefit of you guys to show what could be achieved in terms of a crew cut. I also, I'm probably going to get Hannah to cut my hair at some point. She's never cut anyone's hair in her life. So that should be quite good fun for you guys. I may even try and talk her through a more of a technical haircut, like a skin fade, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I'm still just pulling the hair up, working my way back, trying to cut roughly the same amount. I'm simplifying the techniques that I would normally use and that I would normally teach in a way that hopefully you guys will be able to understand at home. If there's anything that you're not quite sure about, by all means, write in a comment, leave me a message. I had one customer asking me what clippers they should buy, and it's difficult because the decent ones are quite expensive, and so I found them some cheaper alternatives, and like everything else during this time, during this lockdown period, everything's sold out. Every link I sent in was sold out on Amazon and eBay. So it is difficult. You may have to make do with what you've got. By all means, I'm happy to share some links of ideal ones below, and if you can find them somewhere else, then great. But it does seem like certain things, whether it's toilet roll, pasta, or hairdressing clippers, or rollers and paint, it's like gold dust at the moment.
Nana says not to shave off.
Nana says don't shave Harrison's hair off.
And Albert's watching.
And hello Albert, you're right, mate. I hope business is still good for you, Albert. I hope you're still managing to trade. I saw that Chalky Whites was still open this week, and that's good. I hope you continue to be able to stay open, mate. A lot of people still need to use their cars and. So Harrison's doing very well. We're just taking a little bit off the top. You know, the main bit that bugs a lot of families is the fringe and around the back and sides where it gets long. Sometimes on the crown here, again, like I said, I have a recipe for that, but it's going to use equipment that you probably won't have at home, so it's useless. So now, realistically, we're pretty much there. Let's have a look at the front. We can comb the front down, and we'll have a look at the front. And me personally, I like to avoid just going straight across on the front and cutting a line at all if I can avoid it. It always looks better if you can have a look. And the other thing is, you really want to wait till it's dry to see, particularly like Harrison's got a cow's lips that goes up at one side. If I was to cut it dead straight and then let it dry, it would be wonky. Good boy, Harrison, you're doing so well. We're nearly finished. How many minutes are we up to, Han?
Oh, Auntie Cassie's watching, darling.
Oh, Auntie Cassie's
Hello,
watching.
Auntie Cassie. Let's pause this, spin it round, say good morning to Auntie Cassie.
You going to say hello to Auntie Cassie?
You going to wave? Good morning. Can you say good morning?
Oh,
Oh, kiss for Auntie Cassie.
Good boy.
Kiss for Auntie Cassie.
Oh, Auntie Cassie might
Oh, and
have to
Auntie Jenny's watching.
She might have to take some tips. Are you want to any more kisses?
Auntie kiss for Auntie Jenny. Oh,
Good boy. Auntie Cassie might be taking some tips on this because her lovely little boy Ollie, he's going to need his haircut. He has his haircut very regularly with me, and yeah, she may have to give it a go herself, or his dad might be able to. We'll see what happens there. Again, I'm happy to give you tips. There we go. What's going on with the TV's gone so quiet a bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing a bit of scissor over comb. This is again a little bit more of an advanced technique where we would put the comb in and damp the hair just a very little. We can do it damp or dry. I'm just damping Harrison's hair because he's got a bit of bed hair. And we'll put the comb in, and then you hold the scissors against the comb, and you basically, the idea is that we're working our way up and gradually pulling away from the head and trimming any extra long bits of hair that stick out the comb to try and give it that smooth transition. We've kind of already done it with the clippers. This is a step that you really don't need to do, and it is more advanced. I'm just doing it just to give Harrison a bit of a nice haircut. And I'll only do it for a second, so. There we go. I thought I'd be able to see better than this in this room, Hannah. I'm not going to lie.
you finished your crisps, so you're still going?
Still going on the crisps.
Want a drink? No?
So we're nearly finished now. You can also, what we call it is cross-check. Dave Glossy, who taught me quite a lot of the hairdresser skills that I know, he taught me lots of handy methods, which including that would be to cross-check the hair, which is once you've pulled the hair up in one direction, just come across it at a right angle to that direction, just to check that it's all even, and when it dries you don't leave any harsh scissor lines in there. Again, by cross-checking the fringe like this and being careful with the front layer, it means that you won't end up with any blunt, Dumber and Dumber looking fringe. Good boy, Harrison. We are nearly there. So that, I think, is about it. I probably want to tidy it up a little bit more at the back here, but I can't really see because it's behind the chair, but that's all right. We can always get that. That's the other thing, especially with young children. Just do what you can while you can. Obviously, we're going to be in this situation for a while now, for at least a few weeks. It's not like we're not going to have time to come back and do it in the bath or do it at a later date. I'm just going to grab my hairdryer in a sec and just dry Harrison's hair a little bit so we can get an idea of what it looks like. What I'll do after this is finished is I'll post a before and after photo of his hair so you can get an idea of what it looked like before and what it looks like after. I had planned out what I was going to say during this video, and I've kind of totally gone off on a tangent and probably not covered anything that I was supposed to, and covered lots of nonsense that I'm not supposed to. Alright, let's get the hair dry quickly. This is where I reckon the lead's going to reach, obviously.
We'll do it here now.
It'll reach from here. There we go. So now, you've got the crown of anyone's hair. Sometimes you have more than one crown. Find the crown that the way it wants to sit the best. You can kind of get an idea. You can see it swirling around.
Oh, what's that?
And then just try and comb the hair in the direction of the crown, and then just gently dry it into that direction. Again, it would probably be better with a brush. Some of you will have a brush at home. I've got a brush somewhere, but I'm just using a comb just to keep the equipment really limited that I'm using. Good boy, nearly finished. Nearly finished.
Oh,
Excuse me.
thank you.
Chris, please. Good boy, Harrison. Nearly finished. Lovely. There we go. I'm just trying to adjust his cow's lick a little bit here. Now I've dried it, I can see which bit's one of my nephews, Tyler. He's got a very, very strong cow's lick in his hair, and you have to cut his hair, then dry it, and then cut the fringe again just to check that it's all right and it all looks good, right? And I think we are pretty much there.
Got Tony watching.
What's his surname? Which Tony is it?
JD Ward.
Tony Wood, that's Ian's brother. Hello, Tony. Lots of these people like Tony like very short haircuts, so it's going to be a tricky time for them, though. It's going to be a tricky time for them at the moment. Right, and that is pretty much it, guys. So I'll flip it around and show you Harrison's hair now. Like me, he is blessed with blonde hair, so it means that it doesn't show up. Let's have a look. Let's show him the front. There we go. It's just tidier. And obviously we're going to be off for a while. You'll have a bit of time of practice. Like I said before, if there's any particular type of haircut you'd like me to do, I'm happy to do it. Obviously, I've only got myself and Harrison as models. And if there's any questions about equipment or whatever, what's Jordan Chung says, do you have a favourite hair you like doing for me? It's a skin fade. I love doing all hair. One of my favourites, which will surprise you all, is elderly people, because especially if their hair comes in and they look like a total mess. Oh, Hannah, I just need to get a finished photo of him. You can, at the end of it, you can give them a really nice haircut that makes them look so much better and feel so much better. Anyway, put any questions you want below. I will answer them all, or DM me. And I've even got equipment that I can lend people. But obviously it would mean coming to collect it, which is a bit of a dodgy situation. I could leave it outside my house if you live near Brooklands. Let me know. Anything you want to know, any questions, any haircuts you want me to do in future, I might do some more of these. Hannah's going to do some more. She said don't get her on camera. She's not on camera. And I'm going to get a finished photo of Harrison's hair now. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. In regards to the shop reopening, I reckon it's going to be a minimum 2 weeks. Hopefully we can get on top of things by then. If not, I really don't know.
Shout out to all the NHS staff.
Yeah, shout out to all the NHS staff, including my sister and all the other wonderful NHS staff that are doing an amazing job and risking their own health to put others first and help them. I honestly can't thank you enough, and it's inspiring. Love you all. Peace.